Monday Night Raw took place tonight. You had the show start off with Randy Orton coming to the ring. He talked about beating Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins and Keith Lee last week. And he couldn't believe he still has to face Keith Lee again. And then he talks about he threatens to kick him in the head again. However, that's when Drew McIntyre comes out and we hear a siren noise. It's an ambulance, and McIntyre comes out of the ambulance. He marches to the ring. His music plays. He clocks one with a Claymore kick. And Orton he gets his ass kicked. McIntyre, after he hits a Claymore kick, beats up on Orton. He gets his revenge for being kicked in the head like 3 times a couple of weeks ago. And it's a good angle. My only problem is I wish they'd sell the punt better. I remember when they first started doing the punt, they would sell it really good. They'd sometimes they would have it go on for a couple of months. They'd put you on TV. They'd miss out like it was a devastating finisher. But now you're kind of back after a couple of days, so it was okay. They showed a Hurt Business walking through the back earlier, and they're going to have a new member tonight. They showed Drew McIntyre. He said he's talked Adam Pearce backstage. He had a 6-man tag match. He had Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shawn Benjamin against Apollo Crews, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. Big thing here is Cedric Alexander with the big heel turn. Turns on Ricochet, turns on Apollo. Apollo's no good anyway. I don't think Apollo's going anywhere. Ricochet, he's done. And it ain't going to work out with him. But so that's good for Cedric Alexander, who joins our Hurt Business. MVP, Benjamin, Lashley, and Alexander's fine. So he's with them. Hurt Business gets the win. And it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. They had the Street Profits defeat Angel Garza and Andrade and Angel Garza. And the winner is Lena Vega. She's wearing an outfit that had her tits, like it's basically a shirt, and it's the tits are it's what it's like. It looked really great. It looked really hot. Yeah, that was probably my favorite part of the match. Yeah, it was quick. It was basically Angel Garza splitting from the team. He walked out. He left Andrade, and Andrade got finished by the Street Profits. So Angel Garza is not with Andrade anymore. Street Profits get the win. It looks like that's a split. And they did the whole thing with Angel Garza and that chick, that blonde chick from the reality show. I forget her name backstage. But Nakamura and Cesaro come out, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, we'll maybe get a unifying tag team match at SmackDown, or at Clash of Champions, and maybe we might get that, but that's not what we're getting next week. Next week we're getting champs versus champs, but I think you might get a unifying match at Clash of Champions. You had Nakamura and Cesaro mock them, and it set up the match. Then you went to, they showed the stuff with R-Truth backstage. It was just embarrassing. Stuff with Akira Tozawa and hunting in a ninja and a dessert play in a restaurant. It was just the worst shit you'd ever see. Next up came Peyton Royce, and she comes up with this generic music. I don't understand it. It sounds, I don't know. She's like, okay, I'm going to try. It sounds kind of like a cherry pie kind of song. But I don't know. She's Australian, so I don't know if she fits in it. It might fit more of a southern kind of chick that they can push, but I don't know if that really fits her music, that song. Then Billie Kay comes out. She comes out as the Femme Fatale. I think that was right before she formed a team with Peyton Royce. I think she debuted before Peyton Royce in NXT. She was the Femme Fatale. But the match was not very good. Peyton Royce is a lot better than Billie Kay. And Peyton Royce I don't think is great, but she's better than Billie Kay. Billie Kay is really bad. Peyton Royce gets the win. It wasn't a quick match. She gets the spinning brainbuster finisher. After the match, she helps Billie Kay to her feet. I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is just like Bayley and Sasha from SmackDown. She's going to turn on her and turn heel. Instead, she hugs Billie Kay. And what this tells me is Peyton Royce might get a short-term single push. She might lose to Asuka. After she loses to Asuka, she might go back with the Iconics. But they left it open-ended so they can eventually send them back. Because I think Peyton Royce will just lose to Asuka and they'll be back. They plugged Dominic Mysterio and Murphy later tonight. They're setting it up as the main event. You had Mysterio, his family come in the ring for an interview. You had everyone. It's like we've seen so much of Ray's family. It's Ray, Angie, his wife, his son Dominic, and Aaliyah, his daughter. Didn't really see them all when they were kids. Aaliyah and Dominic in SummerSlam 04 or 05, or 05 with that whole storyline with Eddie Guerrero. But I thought this was well done. I thought this was a good segment. He had Charlie Cruz interview him. Then he had Murphy interrupt on the video screen, and he's mad that Rollins left him or whatever. And Murphy wants to end Dominic's career, and he challenges him to a street fight. And Rey Mysterio tells Dominic yes, and Dominic accepts it. And he says if you lay a finger on his family, he would basically kill him. That's what he pretty much said. He had Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler each having to face the Riot Squad. He had Adam Pearce. I guess there's so much of Adam Pearce now, it's too annoying. But they want to know what's going to happen because they have to both face him in handicap matches. You had Pearce, Drew McIntyre, trying to talk to Drew McIntyre. He had Asuka and Mickie James beat Natalya and Lana. Nothing much for Natalya. I feel like she's probably better as a trainer. She was supposed to have that one program with Ronda. Ever since that thing fell apart, she's just been nothing. Asuka and Mickie get the win. Nothing much here. I don't think anyone really cares. I like Mickie, but I guess that's Asuka's next opponent, I would assume. MVP asked Cedric Alexander, is he ready to make it official? And MVP and Lashley seem to believe him, but Shelton doesn't believe him. And Shelton gives him a pep talk backstage. He basically threatens him. They had the VIP lounge. Cedric Alexander comes in, and Benjamin challenges him again, but he says he's officially with them. He joins the Hurt Business, so Cedric Alexander's with them. He had the Viking Raiders come out, and they come out with Apollo Crews and Ricochet, and you have a brawl. Then you had the Hurt Business against Viking Raiders, Apollo and Ricochet, 8-man tag. This was an okay matchup here, not much. This was very average. You had Ricochet nail a Michinoku driver, or Cedric Alexander hit a 6-3 splash, and he hit a Michinoku driver after Ricochet missed a 6-3 splash, so he gets one for his team. And looks like that they're going to get a push. Charlie Cruz interviews Drew McIntyre, basically saying why he's there. It was an okay promo. KO approaches Shane McMahon outside the Raw Underground room, and then they have a couple of feuds. We don't need a third feud, but he admits they've had problems with all water on the bridge, and Owens calls him a jackass, and Shane opened the door for him. He had Randy Orton against Keith Lee. This ends in a DQ. Okay matchup here. Drew McIntyre comes out. What basically happens is Orton, McIntyre gives Orton slipped off Lee's shoulders. He hits an RKO, then McIntyre flies in the ring and gives Orton a Claymore kick. And he wanted to see him in his nightmares. It was a good promo. He does the second Claymore kick, takes out Orton again, and continues to build up their feud. We're underground. Aleister Black beats some guy quickly. Owens appeared to tackle Black. They fight, and it becomes a battle. They come back later. After the break, Orton yells at Pierce for not doing his job. He had Orton said he's really angry. He had a handicap match. Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan defeat Shayna Baszler. This is a quick matchup. This was okay. Nia Jax is laughing. Then you had the Raw. They're going to face Nia Jax. They're about to beat Nia Jax. And Raw Underground Retribution comes out. They ruin it. And we got a promo from Retribution. And they're basically, I think it's just a bunch of former WWE fired rejects, fired WWE wrestlers, people who were probably fired back in April or whatever. That's what I think Retribution is. Or May, wherever they were fired, I think it was May. That's who Retribution is. This was them setting it up. They showed Owens and Black fighting again. And then some random guy just lays them out and kills them. But that's what we had. Actually, I forgot to mention, I think Sarah Screeber interviewed the Mysterio family. Set up that match. Then they had the Owens and Black stuff. And that was alright. I don't know who the guy was. Dabakata, that's his name. They had Randy Orton and Rob limping through the backstage with his luggage, and then Charlie Cruz tries to interview McIntyre, attacks him again. He throws him into the half ring they have set up for interviews, gives him another Claymore, just destroys this guy again. This is McIntyre getting his revenge. Orton's taken away in an ambulance. Then you had Dominic Mysterio against Murphy. Of course, Dominic has his entire family, Ray, Angie, and Aaliyah, in his corner, and this is the main event. I thought this was okay. I thought this was an alright matchup. You had some decent spots. You had some kendo sticks. You had a cool spot that was set up where a table was set up on the outside. It was basically leaned up against the announce booth, and Mysterio was on the outside, and Murphy's on the outside, and Dominic does a sunset flip, a sit down powerbomb with a suicide dive into a sunset powerbomb through the table. That was cool. And Murphy kicks out of the frog splash, but after that, that's when they really get their revenge. They get the kendo sticks and beat him up. Murphy is in the same position that Dominic was, in between the ropes. His arms are locked in, and the entire Mysterio family gets kendo sticks. They beat the fuck out of Buddy Murphy. Murphy quits, and the match is over. Dominic wins, and after it, they continue to beat up Murphy with the kendo sticks. All of them hit him. I think Aaliyah hit him in the face. That was pretty funny, but they all beat the living fuck out of Murphy with the kendo sticks. It was brutal, and they get their revenge, and Murphy's probably done with Rollins, and what's next for Murphy, but I hate this Seth Messiah gimmick. I wish it was over, but it looks like that's it for him and Murphy, and I think Dominic should be on his own now. It was nice. He had a nice fun with his family. It was a cool ending to Raw, but we'll see what he does on his own after this, and that basically wrapped up Raw tonight.